I could hear Yell talk for hours, to be honest, about Counter-Strike, and you know, really, really interesting interviews. I love the stark comparison between the, you know, the Danish mindset versus the Brazilian mindset. In that, you know, let's get loud, we're winning, we don't know why, but we're being loud and we're hitting our shots, and it's working to, you know, just focus and knuckle down and get those wins. And that was very much on Valde's side of things. What kind of player are you, Harry? Are you a loud and screaming guy, or are you just like kind of focus on your crosshair?
Well, like, so I'll talk to myself,
yeah,
but I don't want to talk to other people.
Oh wow!
You know, I don't really like other people,
no.
So I just focus on me, Hugo.
That's a good idea.
But I tell you what, no, you touched upon a good point there, and that is, you know, like the Danes, right? They're approaching this, you know, they're almost like robots, man. They're cold, they're calculated, right? They're not leaving anything up to chance. And then the Brazilian squad, well, it's all about being up in the face of the opposition, being as loud as they can, as confident as they can, and it does always feel like, you know, trying to have like a bit of fun with it whenever they can is like pretty important with these Brazilian teams. So yeah, I mean, I'm also curious to see where this one ends up, right? Like what map we end up on.
It makes me kind of, I know it's not going to happen, but I'm going to believe it every series. Neither of these teams play Vertigo, and that really makes me want to see Vertigo, right? But I'm very much not expecting that. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes the route of a Duster train. You know, I can't really think where else North would want it to go. Like maybe Nuke, but surely Brazilian teams don't want to play Danish teams on Nuke. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. As you can see, one logged game on Vertigo for INTZ. They've got to win there, but no log games to North. And that's, you know, without a doubt, it's North. I can guarantee they've prepped that map coming into this event to some extent. And maybe we'll see it later as a bit of a pocket pick once they make it through this stage. Well, that's still up for question as well, Harry, right? North have certainly been through turbulent times, and I think this roster is looking very, very good. We kind of questioned the departure of Cadian and putting Valde to the IGL role. We didn't want him to lose his fragging power, but at least in recent history, that seemed to have worked out. Now, this is going to be the true test for North to see if Valde can lead this team to a victory, and this would be a great way to start it up against the Brazilian boys.
So flipping over here, we have the folks from North on our screens, and I'm trying to, so like, I feel like, you know, since we've seen Valde come in as the IGL now within this squad, I do feel like we've seen a bit of a step up from Kirby to kind of, you know, like take a bit of that firepower roll over, right? In the games that I've seen them play, he's kind of been the man rising up the scoreboard once again, which is a nice feeling, because for the longest time, you know, when Kirby first made the move to North, when he left Astralis, he took that huge gamble to try and become a star. And I don't feel like we ever got to see a North where I looked at it and I said, yep, Kirby, he's the man. He's the man. Well, it was normally Valde who was up for the kind of bigger consideration. But especially, I don't really think the team was just ever based around Kirby. It was just like he was just fitting in to whomever's system it was. Like,
I think it was, in my opinion, it was less the fact that, you know, Kirby wasn't stepping up in a huge way, and more the fact that the roster wasn't stepping up in a huge way. North never really achieved too much. They won a couple of events, and that was great, right? They won that, you know, that DreamHack, which was a Masters as well. But other than that, very little trophies to their name. So, and with some of the names on this team, that's not what you would expect. You would expect more. And I think maybe this is the roster that can bring them those high heights.
It's really just been a matter of not just trying to have a team of 5 individuals and trying to make a team with this North squad, right? A team that actually adds up to something greater than the sum of their like individual parts as well. Because it feels like with North, you've always had the big names, you've always had the well-known players, the experienced players. It always felt like it should have worked, but just for whatever reason, the team just never really clicked together. And I mean, I still don't even know if we're at the end of North having to make these changes. You know, I feel like a lot of that is going to come down to the results on a major like this, right? Is you want to see some results, because it's all well and good saying, well, you know, we're still trying to build up our team, we're still trying to figure it out. But this North project has been going on a long while now, and ever since it kind of first came around, they haven't really wowed us as much as I thought they would have, especially when at one point in time we were kind of prophesizing about like the Danish era of CS being seeing Astralis up in #1, and then there was the potential for teams like North to try and catch up and become like those top 3 ranked teams in the world, right? And now, if you look at it, that like memory seems like so long ago. You know, I don't even think you could consider a situation where it's like a Danish top 3 again anytime soon.
No, I mean, yeah, not even Danish top 1 right now. Well, I think this major will answer some of those questions, right? I think we've all been waiting to see Astralis here, but that won't be till the next stage, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer, Harry. But I think another talking point is Yugi, right? One of the upcoming players of maybe a year or two ago, touted as, you know, one of these really high potential AWP players. We saw him in Optic. Frankly, underwhelming in Optic. I think everyone can agree that. Took some time off, took some personal time out of the game, came back into this North roster, and he's looked good ever since doing so. Will he be able to step up to the test, though, up against the likes of KNG here on that AWP for INTZ? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see, but this is going to be a very exciting tournament to watch how this North team progresses and whether they can exceed our expectations. Because I always think everyone has always placed high expectations of North. And I don't want to say it's not justified with the names in this team, but I really want them to live up to it. And I think this has to be it.
So you bring up Yugi, and you should, you know, watch it at home. You should all remember he kind of like exploded onto the scene as like a name that everyone was suddenly paying attention to, as like one of the next prominent AWPing talents within Denmark. You know, he was the guy who you look to try and follow along in the footsteps of a player like Device, right? Like he was the man that you were building up to try and do that. And then it just sort of like fizzled out. I know he had like a few health problems and things like that meant he took a step away from playing for a while. And then obviously, I think that was back during his time in Heroic that he ended up taking, well, I think that was when it first started to try and like show its hand, and then he had to move out to Optic and then went on some leave. But still, you know, like he's had like some trials, tribulations here and there. And that all that hype that was around him, it's not that it's gone, it's just that I feel like we don't have, you know, we haven't really had a reason to speak about it in that same capacity.
We need to see it proven.
You know? Exactly, right? Like, the hype is still there. I still believe Yugi could be one of the big AWPing talents within Denmark. I mean, he definitely is. But, like, I just want to see that now. You know, I've heard for long enough, like, keep your eye on this guy. I've seen big moments from him. I just want to see him find that within a big team on a consistent basis.
Without a doubt. And I mean, if we look at North's history at the majors as well, right? Like looking back to even the Katowice, well, I was going to say major, minor, falling in the play-ins to the likes of Vici twice in that, right? They get knocked down to the lower bracket, they beat Envy, they lose to Vici 2-0. I mean, they cannot afford to keep losing to international teams that they may not be familiar with, and here is another one up against them now, INTZ. This is a game North need to lock in. At the same time, INTZ, young guns, you know, very confident, very loud, willing to do anything to win. This is going to be a brutal game, Harry. A very back and forth affair.
Yeah, and especially because of the very just like intrinsically different ways in which these two teams approach Counter-Strike. You've got your Danes where, you know, over in the North side of things, they like to take things very methodically. They like to play it by the numbers. And then you've got INTZ, just aggression across the board, right? The Brazilian style is expect the unexpected, and they'll make it work with terrifying consistency. And so often we see that be the thing that allows these Brazilian squads to steamroll over teams before they can even really kind of get like a gist of what's going on.
They may not be Furia, but they sure are furious.
Yeah, definitely. They 100% are, Hugo. And they're looking to make a bit of a statement here. Obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing, I think as you kind of highlighted, that duel between KNG and Yugi. Obviously as well, you've got some double AWP potential within this INTZ squad. We could see Yeld on that alongside KNG. He also used to be an AWPer back in the day, so there's a lot of room to maneuver here for this INTZ squad. And personally, I think this is one of like the best iterations of this team that we've seen in like a little while, right under the INTZ banner. They've swapped things around now. We've got KNG brought into the mix. And, you know, we're starting to see a few of these guys finding success, because especially for guys like Cello and Yell, who have been together as like a duo for a long while now, I'm pretty happy that they're now slotting in and finding some success within these teams. Starting to make things work, Hugo.
I think we're having Vitas as well. You can see the players crowding around one monitor, and you know, we don't really get shown the graphic, but Valve do have their own little veto thing within CS for the majors, of course, the major branch. So they're going to be getting that done, and we're going to be able to see where this best of 1 series will take us. I really don't know what map we're going to see here. I'm leaning between something like Train, Nuke, or Dust. Other than that, I really wouldn't know, you know, what. I guess it all comes down to what you've prepared as well coming into this event, right? You can't just go off of previous games.
I think
this is the biggest tournament of the year. Teams are going to be prepping specifically for these games. I
think it should be something like Train, Overpass, or Dust. I think they're probably my maps.
Yeah, good best of 1 maps. We'll have to wait and see. Deep down, Harry, I want Vertigo. You know I do.
I know you do, but like deep down, I want to win $6 billion, and I know I'm not going to. So, you know,
that's too much money. I think don't need that much money.
I don't know. I could give almost everyone one euro. How much money did I say? Euros or dollars or pounds?
Dollars.
I could give everyone $1. Almost.
Well, how generous.
That's not that impressive, though, is it?
Yeah.
Would it be more impressive to give 100 people like 100,000? That's way more impressive than everyone.
Especially if you pick out the 100 people. This is a null and void conversation, Harry. You don't have 6 billion to your name.
Not yet, but we're working on it.
Oh, I think it's Train.
Hang on, wait. I'm trying to peek on them.
I can see the accept button. It looked like Train, man. It looked like Train.
Trying to see what they're seeing.
I think we're right, Harry. Gonna have to wait and see either way.
Train would make sense, right? Yeah. It's a good map for North. It's a good map for INTZ. And quite often you'll see it's one that these Brazilian squads quite like to pick into playing versus like kind of higher tier opposition. I feel like I'm always seeing KNG and Yell on Train, right? Running a double AWP setup between the two of them, things like that. These are the things you want to be keeping an eye on. As this game is now set to start, we can see North huddling up, bit of time to chat. Valder, this is the man. The guy who's throwing into this IGL role, right? He took it upon his shoulders. He went from being just the star of this team to now the man leading the team as well. A lot of responsibility for a very, very like young player in comparison to players like MSL and Cadian, who were formerly leaders within this team. A lot less experience on him, but he's risen to the occasion, and now they're going to look to him to provide these answers here at the major. A lot on his shoulders. There is no denying it.
Yeah, I want to hear your stand-up players, Harry. Who are you looking towards for this matchup for either or both sides? Yeah, screw it, do both. I'll throw you right under that bus.
Yeah, so for me, over on the side of North, I'm going to say Kirby and Yugi, I think, are the 2 players that we need to see step up. I would also say keep an eye on Gade, because he is so good, especially on Train, at anchoring down these bomb sites and just getting like 2 kills when he should only ever get 1. That's a phrase you're going to hear me say a hell of a lot when it comes to Gade, and that is like his speciality. He just seems like he's missed a multi-kill. So he's a great guy to just leave back at a bomb site, let him play his own game. For INTZ, KNG obviously is one of the names that comes straight to mind, right? You're going to want to see him bringing the AWP. You're going to want to see someone going toe-to-toe with Yugi, trying to shut down North, trying to create space for INTZ to play around, especially because they're such an aggressive team. You want to be getting the opener and then making your calls to play off the back of that. And the AWP on Train is a stellar weapon to do exactly that with.
Oh, I think we've done it, Harry. We have indeed. We are going the way of Train here for the only map of this series, of course. It's going to be North picking that CT side as they do not get the final ban. And that's certainly a favorable pick, obviously. Some maps, it doesn't really matter what side you pick, but on Train, well, that is definitely not the case. North, not exactly a lot of games played on this map. You have to take into account they have not been playing at as many tournaments as late, I guess. Still only 3 maps. That's not fantastic, but I'm sure they've been doing prac behind the scenes. And on the side of INTZ, mixed bag of results, mainly negative. But let's not look too deeply into the past, Harry. We're on for the future. We're on for the present. And this game is it's going to be a huge decider. Again, we mentioned this earlier, but the loser goes down 0-1. Think about the other 0-1 teams. NRG and Vitality, both getting upset by CIS teams in their opening matchup. You know, the value of now winning the game is not only just to get yourself in a 1-0 spot, but it's to avoid 2 of the best teams in this entire event.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, for NRG and Vitality, they're going to have the fire lit beneath them, right? Like, you drop down into that 0-1 slot on day 1, day 2, when you come back in, you're going to be firing on all cylinders, right? Like, you're not sleeping at the wheel anymore.
No.
And so that is a very, very scary spot to be in. And it could get that much worse before the day is out, right? I still think there's a few more upsets in the tank. I still feel like we're going to have some more surprising results with teams dropping down into that 0-1 portion. Because that's the thing, right? With the Major, there's normally so much prep done behind the scenes. There's so much work put into this that you really do see every single team showing up in, like, top form. You know, like, this is the event. So this is kind of like a very, I can't think of what the word would be, like a very volatile environment, right, for a lot of these teams to be in. And you might have got into this prepping to play versus one style of opposition, or the style that you're so used for it, like, you know, like a style that you're used for a team playing. And then they might just change things completely because it's the Major. And, you know, they might just throw a curveball at you. Well, there's a lot.
At least we know, because of the interview, that Yale did say they're just going to play their own game, which is obviously a classic in Counter-Strike. Hit their shots, play their own game. But, I mean, that's how they got here, Harry. That's how they made it this far. You may as well keep doing what's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That is the old saying. And
so this is the thing. One of the reasons why I think this matchup in particular is pretty good for INTZ in terms of, like, them having the ability to upset is you look at this this North squad, right, with Valda at the helm, and we've been saying that they're pretty, like, calculated with everything. They like to play things by the numbers. They've been doing a lot of preparation. And the thing is when you have a team like INTZ that can just do these ludicrous strats and make them work, that's when it, like, becomes very easy to kind of overcomplicate things and game yourself, especially if you're someone like Valda who hasn't been in this IGL role that long, right? Like, it's a pretty big responsibility for him now. And I feel like a lot of it is just going to come down to trying to get control over the momentum of this game nice and early for North. And a point I've got to make about that is that might be very difficult right now. They are starting the CT side, which is favored, but if INTZ run this T side of train like I expect they will, this could be very difficult for North. We could be seeing, you know, straight into the rifle rounds, a lot of very fast outside XX, getting players quickly into sandwich, quickly down Olaf by E-Box, you know, those wall of smokes that you can throw into the A site just to get your terrorists deep, and then slow down the round and have them try and find picks within the A site rather than just fighting the exteriors, like down through pop and inside of T main. You want to get your players into the yard, and I think INTZ are going to be very good at getting behind enemy lines in the T side of this matchup. It's a map that they're very prepared on. It's a map that North have only played 3 times in officials in the last 3 months, so you have to remember they might be a little bit rusty here. We're going to have to find out, Harry. INTZ looking warmed up and ready to go after their little huddle, and North are already on the server prepping and ready for this pistol round. It's going to be CT side start for North, and of course Mytha giving the North complimentary back rubs, which he always does, which I can only imagine is very positive for their performance. Yeah, let's see. I mean, he's given Yugi the rub of destiny, and let's see if that's going to be enough. If Yugi comes into this with a flying start, we know it's Mytha's magic hands. He's rubbing down the rest of the team.
Mytha's magic hands. That sounds like a TV show. Get off me! Get off me!
We can hear AC a tiny bit. That's amazing.
Yugi's like, come on.
Right there, man. AZ's man, it's like
hit the spot.
Yeah, it's good, dude.
This is awesome. What better way to make your players feel relaxed? Like, this may look quite funny, but it's actually seriously helpful. Get those arms pumping.
I've never had a massage, and I fully believe that at this point, it, like, they might be the best thing I haven't done yet. Even though I don't know what it's like, I'm just now convinced that they must be good.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, look at AZ's face.
Yeah, man, he looks so relaxed. All the tension's gone, and he's ready to frag. No such back rubs over in the Brazilian side of things. They're just getting fired up instead.
Hopefully getting into things in just a second either way. INTZ are certainly looking focused, which is what we want to see. For those unaware, obviously on the other stream right now, we have TYLOO and G2 going down in a best of 1 on overpass. That's 4-4, split a very, very equal we'll keep you updated with the scoreline of the other stream games as well while we can. But hopefully we'll be getting started with this one first. We're a little bit behind schedule, at least on this game, because of course the absolute belter of an overtime matchup we just had between Dream Eaters and NRG that did go the way of the Russian side, as have all the games gone today. Harry, CIS Derby. Let's see if it's still upset city here with INTZ, or if North will solidify their first victory in Berlin. Well, it's not exactly their first victory in Berlin. They've been here a bit of time, Harry, for the Miners, but the first victory of the Major.
See, I think, like, from looking at these games today, I feel like there's a real chance that every single one of them can go against, like, the majority opinion, just because they all feel so close. Like, even G2 TYLOO right now going on over on the mainstream, that's tied up over on Overpass. Really not the start I imagined that game would have. But Hugo, we don't have to wait any longer. This game is underway. North versus INTZ. The second game of today over here on the secondary stream. INTZ starting things off on the T side. North got to pick the CT side, as you said early on. And they will be playing this four-man stack towards the outer bomb site, pushing two players into Pop Dog, trying to set this this double-man hold up here early.
This is a great gamble because you know that INTZ are likely not going to be spotting that cross from T main off of spawn. Not with Glocks. Not a fight you want to take. You'd rather wait for the utility to go out. INTZ looking to either go for a pop or a B play here. They've got everyone grouped up in those halls. It's more likely going to be the latter of the two. But the thing is, if they don't clear out pop, there's going to be a quick flank available. So let's see if they double back on this one. That's the value of playing this box halls position. You can easily go back towards A at the drop of a hat.
They still don't seem incredibly sold on the B play, but it will just be four players down through ramp for INTZ. Yugi dealing with that first man, tagged up. AZ in with one before that trade comes through. Zand has actually cleared out the Pop Dog as well. Ooh. And with KNG getting aggressive, this has gone back into a 3-on-3 now. Finally, they shut KNG down. This bomb ticking away. TYLOO and Zand in the bomb site. They spot both of these players, so now they know where they are, and they can keep Zand over on ramp, safe in the knowledge that a rap isn't coming in, but he's lost his teammate in the bomb site. They tap the bomb to try and draw this peek in from Zand, and Gade on the ladder will shut him down. Delivers this round to North. Defuse comes in. And there's just enough time left for it. North getting off to the 1-0 start that they would have liked. Making that retake happen.
Very important kill there for Gade as well, right? No kit for North, 5 armors, so they needed that frag. And already, I mean, showing to be a very back and forth affair, right? The instant trades from both sides into that B bomb site. Eventually be closed out by North, and INTZ get a bomb plant, and that will tempt them to go for the buy. Only somewhat, though. A single AK on TYLOO. Everyone else deciding to eco this one with pistols, hoping the AK can find a couple of opening kills. In fact, it's the best weapon in the server. So North with 2 M4s and still some SMGs to make some bonus money. Expecting a fast out-of-control round, but with INTZ playing around this one rifle, they're not going to go quick with the pistols. They'd rather send them in behind the rifle after he's found picks, if he finds picks, because right now North aren't giving him anything.
Yeah, there's even a deep Ivy smoke thrown in from North. This is just keeping INTZ towards this portion of the map. KNG and Yell were just there moments ago. Now only KNG left as the rest of the guys have grouped up over towards main and Pop Dog. Looking like this is going to be an A play here for INTZ, hoping that TYLOO can get something done with this AK. Starting to cross over in main, and there's Yuki opening up. The AK's already gone. It will get retrieved by Yell, but he doesn't have armor behind it, so the UMP tears him to shreds there on that push. Yugi doubling up. Oh, nice kill found from Destiny. AK retrieved as well, but shouldn't really be much more chance at damage in this round. Just going to throw the gun out the map. And already we're seeing a couple of nice shots from Yugi. That's what I want to see.
What was that?
Destiny.
Oh, he didn't see. Didn't realize a player was coming in from above, focused on his crosshair. Can't blame him there. They don't find the AK, as you said, it was thrown out, but good decision to do so. Nothing worse than giving such powerful weapons to your team so early, to the opposite team so early in the game. It's like a winning pistol as a terrorist, buying 4 AKs, losing to a force buy, and then the CTs are just equipped to the teeth. Won't be a problem. INTZ coming back in with a buy, though. Round number 3, and they've got an AWP. That's a huge investment, considering they didn't get a bomb plant in the previous round. I'm not sure North will expect such good weaponry. Lacking utility, but it might not be the end of the world with this. Kiebi caught deep in Ivy. Tried to get aggressive, but was met with a lot of resistance. Now the boost coming through. They do find some damage, but won't be able to clean up the kill. It's actually Zan that gets the worst of that, down to 30. Could opt to give a gun to TYLOO, but unfortunately he's too far away, up above Pop Dog. Even Yell watching for the B push as well. Now INTZ going to be setting up to actually go for this Ivy take to get Gade out of this position. He will just fall back instead. Kiebi playing close to the SMG. And maybe going in for a double swing here. No, they're boosting on the box. This is going to be interesting to see, considering there's very little in terms of a split to kill Kiebi. No one coming in on Pop Dog, so he's going to have open reign over this position.
Yeah, even if he's able to get 1 or 2 and then just drop off the angle, that is so valuable for North. So will INTZ opt to check this boost? Will Kiebi wreak havoc within this front line? INTZ pushing into him. The flashbang is good, and that allows the trade to come through. Gade spotted over towards Sandwich. Will make quick work of Yell, but it's Destiny once again doubling up. He's having quite the game. Finally shut down by Valdet. Bit of chaos in this round as 15 seconds left. That bomb still has to try and get down Pop Dog, and with AZ already posted up in this position. Oh. Yeah, bomb dropped at the site. Sorry, it was KNG trying to get down through Pop. He'll get finished off. North move 3-0 up.
No bomb plant this time for INTZ either, so not going to be able to justify yet another buy. It will still have to be pistols, but chance for them to actually build some money and get a real rifle round, right? I imagine we're going to see some very keen purchasing from this T side, but at some point you have to call it off. I'll have at least armor behind the AWP on KNG coming forward and all the trimming, so North's chance to go 4-0 up. This would be a great round to go for a B play, but INTZ want to throw a lot of utility into the outside yard. Get a feel for how North like to play this one. Great nade catches Destiny moving through. Yugi's got that AWP from KNG, and he's going to be posted down by Green Train. How does he miss that shot? Looked like it was on him. Kiebi trying to catch these players moving through the smoke, spraying and praying and shaking all the way. He'll get 2. AZ trading back another as well, and this is a slaughter here for North. No one getting a kill on the side of INTZ. Kiebi may be low, but he's just fallen back and let his teammate deal with the last player.
And I'm absolutely loving what we're seeing out of this North squad right now, right? No fear. They're not dilly-dallying around. They're not doubting themselves. They take all these gunfights in this round, they shut it down. And now that they've got it down to just Yell left, they know that he is to get out of main. They know he's got to be the man to make a play if he's going to go for anything. And so they're not even going to feed him a gun. They're not going to give anything up. They just wait for this peak, and yeah, they'll deal with him. So North, 4-0 start. Finding a lot of success, a flawless round there over on the CT side, so money continuing to build up now for the Danes. INTZ, they don't really have much to cling on to here, as they haven't really found all too much success just yet. We finally do have another buy back in. KNG, AWP in hand, does have that to supplement this buy.
Yugi is solo B right now. He's going for the peek up on box halls. This is a very aggressive move with the AWP. Almost gets a quick shot as well. TYLOO just baits the bullet. No one bites it. Flash back in, and this is cleared up. Yugi calls for the rotation. Now we have 2 players down on B. In the meantime, INTZ, well, they found an empty Ivy position. It is smoked right now, which will hold them back, but they could walk up into this spot. Kiebi watching it from the brown train. and really aggressive positioning from North, right? They throw Yugi aggressive on B early, and even though he's fallen back now, they've sent Valdi up the ladder. Gade is close to T-Con, AZ's inside the Pop Dog, and they forfeited Ivy. I mean, this is a really good setup from North. We're going to see if INTZ can deal with it. A smoke down on Ivy, and that will make a lot of confusion here for North, because now they are aware that INTZ could be in their spawn. Their B players have to be aware of a possible flank. And Zan going to try and do exactly that, lurking around Ivy right now, while the rest of his team group up for this B hit.
Valde and Yugi running this crossfire here between the rafters and ramp. You've got Zan looking to come in late from Ivy. If he can cross into CT, maybe INTZ can get something done. But 15 seconds as his push comes in, it's very last minute, and now they try and get down into the bomb site. 10 seconds as they look to try and cross. The bomb will get in, but it's been dropped out in the open. No, this round's over. This round's done. Gade doubling up. Damage done by the players rotating in through connector, and they find Zan trying to wrap in through CT. They read INTZ like a book in that round there.
I thought that was going to go horribly wrong for North, right? Valde pushes the top voxels right as Yugi falls off and goes to watch ramp. At the same time, they execute. I thought that was going to be, you know, them getting caught out of position, but Yugi, he still hits a shot and then gets a leg onto the second player while, you know, in transition between positions. Big round from Gade, as you say, as well, getting a double. Quick rotate. North, you have to drop around here on the CT side. This CT start of train has been very effective for them. We'll see how much further they can go before eventually INTZ pick up a round, but definitely going to be happy with the scoreline. If you are part of the Danish side, double AWP coming through. AZ rather, going to be joining Yugi here, as INTZ still have to half buy. More pistols, more armor, but no more rounds.
Oh, nades raining into main. Actually haven't done as much damage as I thought.
Oh my.
Gade is fighting for his life, but he's somehow still alive. I do not know how, but they've not dealt with the man in the sandwich. Finally they do. And now that's an AK retrieved for Destiny, but can he get anything else done? That's the big question mark. Certainly not, as AZ making quick work of him. Leaves KNG in the 1v4. P250 and the Dream. Bomb dropped out in the open. And this should be the 6-0 for North.
I would love to know if that smoke was purpose. That smoke gave AZ a view into anyone pushing him, you know, of their legs. So he could just scope up on that smoke. If he spots a leg, he shoots above it, he gets a kill. Might have just been a smoke that landed in the Molotov and therefore bloomed kind of weirdly, but if it's a repeat, that's a very clever move from North. We've seen Big start to utilize a really cool smoke on Dust 2 recently, where they throw it down on the boxes below elevator, or below, you know, a below short rather in CT. Gives them a one-way into that headshot angle on site. 6-0 though for North. Here's the buy for INTZ. Back in, they need to find success. This is a rough start for the Brazilians. AWP again for KNG. What can he find?
We almost see the clash of those AWPs immediately. But utility going into main will force them out of it. And oh, they even hear that wallbang damage connecting onto TYLOO. That's going to be communicated as he moves in towards the upper halls. Now, Yugi's already posted up on the angle with the AWP in hand, so this could be an early advantage taken for North. He dodges that flashbang and he'll hold his ground. Desperate to get rewarded for his patience. He'll get Molotov'd out. Now INTZ with the other 3 players down here at Ivy. Gade's actually got up the ladder, so hold the phone, because Gade's just hung up on INTZ. They're gone. They've been disconnected. Zan, Destiny, and KNG, all that's left in this round is Chaos. Kyobi's in with another. And this has all gone oh so wrong for INTZ. Just Zand and KNG left up. 2v5 required and a crossfire down here at Ivy. This one feels like a done deal.
No. They're moving in as well. KNG, he does get that kill, but Kiebi's still standing. Tool runs out of ammo as well, and Zam will take him. 3 on 2. INTZ have made something of this round. This boost could get them another kill, but AZ's watching for it. What a shot. One step ahead. And now they know Zan's here as well. He's got nothing to do but back off into Gay, waiting in their spawn. Angle's there, and he just can't even see him. Looking the wrong way. North 7-0 right now. And what a round from Gade as well. The balls to just find that timing to push up Pop Dog, getting 2 kills from it, knowing that INTZ are rotating out of that B site. And he even finishes it off with a hat trick as well, catching Zan, saving down Ivy. And North yet to drop around here, Harry. This is the North we wanted to see.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, this has put all of my worries about this squad to rest for the time being, right? Like, they're looking good, they're looking confident, and for the first time in a while, it just seems like everyone in this team is on the same page. Like, over here towards B, we've got Valde and we've got Yugi working this upper halls aggression together, playing off of one another in these last few rounds. And they've been using it to get this foothold outside of the B bomb site. Now this time, they're not able to get the foothold, sure, but they've expelled some utility from INTZ, and that was already lacking to begin with in this round. They've slowed down this push, and they have some information as to where these players reside now. They'll fall back and just anchor down within those bomb sites, knowing that the money of INTZ probably isn't that great heading into this round. Lots of utility going to rain into the B bomb site.
It's a fake. And Valde knows it. He pushed back up the ramp after those nades came down, so North know exactly where this bomb's going, and AZ's dropped it down in the open. Olaf Pig even gets the tag. CZ takes a while to pull out, but he'll get it in time. Will he double down? No, it's Kiebi to kill his teammate. Didn't want him to get too many frags, and North are going to deal with this round nice and quickly. Yell coming back up. The Pop Dog does get a kill. That's ridiculous, but surely nothing more, even though he's grabbed a Krieg. It's a 1-on-3. 30 seconds for him to do it. Orbso trained on his position, trying to flash his way out, but asking for a lot. Good flash. Does force a repeat from Yugi, though, who will shut down the round. And yeah, I mean, North knew that was a fake, right? They may have had 3 players down on B at the start, but the fact that they had AZ pushed up on T-Con so aggressively with the AWP, he just knew there was no one inside T main. And as a result, you know, the second that B play comes through, Valde cleans out the fact that ramp is empty, and they go, okay, it's got to be A. 4 rotators in, and North shut it down.
And they really do just seem to be reading into this so well, right? So aware that that was the fake play in towards B. And I do think some of that coming off of that early aggression in towards the upper halls that they had. They didn't really spot players there. They heard 2 sets of utility, and they only saw 2 sets of utility going into that B bomb site. So I think that the second that happens, Valde, very, very aware of what's going on and makes that decision to rotate away, gets more players into the A bomb site. In this round now, KNG's got his AWP over in main. He's looking for a challenge, and there are players inside of the bomb train who might offer one up to him. Nade finds great damage onto Destiny. That Molotov's going to make an even more dire scenario back in main. That gets smoked off, but that will keep INTZ out of the A bomb site for a little bit. They try and go through this smoke, and that is to their demise because Gade is shutting them down. 3 kills. I called him Mr. Multi-Kill, and he's showing us why. North about to go 9-0 if they can finish off these 2 remaining players, and what a game Gade is having.
Absolutely fantastic work once again. And, I mean, when you're INTZ here, what the hell do? You're hoping for some aggression, but North don't need to do that. They're in a 5-on-2. They're just saving. KNG's gone back towards T-spawn. INTZ having to throw in the towel yet again on this T side, and it has been such a rough matchup for them so far. Kiebi going to get aggressive, and he even wins that fight. Zam was holding for it. He was waiting. And Kiebi's just going to spray him down. Now they know KNG's saving as well. And with 8 seconds left up, they're going to start to move. I don't think they'll be able to find him in time, but I don't think North will be too worried. 9-0 up. Anything they get here is just a cherry on top. I mean, look at this third kill from Gade. He has 5 bullets in the clip. There. Just last bullet headshot. And yeah, INTZ, good time for a timeout.
And I mean, here's something that's been really nice as well, right? We've obviously had Yuki and Valde playing towards that inner bomb site. Now, we haven't really seen Valde have to contribute too much in terms of the fragging. But I kind of like that, right? Because it's like you think about the old iterations of North, and it did feel like if Valde wasn't dropping 30, North weren't winning, right? Like that was kind of the situation they were in. Now with him as the IGL, you're kind of seeing how like there's a bit more potential unlocked within the rest of the guys in the squad, right? We've got a very, very close kill distribution between everyone, ignoring Valde, and they're all sitting up towards, you know, 10, 13 kills thereabouts over in the North side of things. So a much more kind of balanced effort right now, and there's still the potential to have Valde play into this game later on if you need him to.
When Valde is 2-2 and he's the worst player on your team, you know you're doing well. You know you're absolutely okay, and that's going to be very, very good for North. Now, Destiny has gotten out to Olof with the assist of some flashes going in early, and I don't think North have realized this one. Valde really trying to goblin up these angles. Will eventually decide to fall back. Destiny is waiting to activate later in the round if needed. cello getting spammed. And he will be needed because this looks like the A play after all. INTZ coming back in through the T-halls, looking for the pop drop. Valde, he might be getting flashed in here. Aggressive peek, gets the info, knows there's no one here. Now you can send a rotate back up towards A. But actually they do quite the opposite. Kierby comes back in for connector. Just to double or triple stack this B site, rather. Interesting considering the info that they have, but they've not seen anything on A so far. Yugi can't afford to be caught off by Destiny's deep position, as he's going to be the first to go out in this push. 40 seconds, scope back in, perfect timing for Yugi. KNG's up and above, and now he's 6 feet below. Yugi, 2 kills already, and he's trying to close the distance. He's trying to use his shotgun up in their face. Does spot the cross as well. There's a third. And what do you even do here for INTZ? You're not even getting out of T-Con.
Yeah, Yugi's looking for the 4th. He's looking to shut this round down. And he just might get it. cello, always a gentleman. And there's only one thing left to do in this round, and that is the honorable thing. And walk to your demise. Another round for North. Yugi on fire. And it really is just, you know, like, each and every player taking a turn just to step up in one of these rounds and lock it down. And I do have to agree, if you're INTZ at this point in time, it can just feel like you're running into a brick wall, right? You try and go slow, well, then you're just going to die in the last 20 seconds, one by one at the hands of Yugi. You try and go fast, well, then you run into all the utility, you run into these early rotations, these early stacks that North have been throwing in.
Just really good mid-round re-aggression from North. They've always got the info. They always know where INTZ are. They always know where the actual bomb is going to be headed.
I can't think of a time that we've seen a gunfight go down where even if INTZ have got the first man, it hasn't not only been traded, but like...
followed up on.
Yeah. Like gone back in the other direction, like flipped around in favor of North. So they have just been playing like these buddy systems so well. This round, this is what I was on about with these early stacks. There's 4 players over at A and only Yugi here at B. Rotation coming in from Valde. He'll look to join up with Yugi. The fact that he's already shut down that first man and put this as a 5-on-4 for North might be enough because, yeah, that sent INTZ packing.
Yeah.
They've left B. And so while it was looking a little bit scary in the beginning, now you've got a lot of time if you're North to try and piece together exactly what's happening in this round. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if maybe we see Valde or Yugi take a bit of a peek in towards those upper halls at some point.
Don't really need to. I mean, you know you're up against a low buy as well, so that kind of adds to the fact that you can just sit back and relax. You have a pick. KNG's been tagged. That was through the spam spot on the ramp. Really not catching a break. 25 seconds here for INTZ to get the bomb down or lose all their players. One or the other has got to happen here. They can't afford to not get that loss bonus that is maxed out. Kierby spraying away. 2 cross behind green, but Gabe won't let them go much further. He's found a double. Kierby swivels and drops the pop player, and Yell, while he's made it to spawn, he has 8 seconds to do something. He needs that loss bonus, so he better go out and die. Kierby will give him that at least. 11-0 for North. Are they even losing players? It doesn't feel like it. Not in that round, but in any rounds?
No, that's the thing. Like, there just hasn't really been any kills going.
We haven't seen like any clutches or anything. No, it's not come down to a 1 VX or 2 VX since the pistol. Harry, is this a 16-0? I've been avoiding it. I've been avoiding
it. Today could just be like the day of firsts for this major.
Fires back in though. Fast smokes towards the A site, won't stop Gade. He is running wild up towards the top blue. Ivy push as well. Kievi going to get flashed after this molly. Now, someone's waiting, but passively. That nade should hit him, but Kievi switches too early. Gade still getting mollied out, will eventually be picked up. Finally, INTZ with some skin in the game. 2 advantages as they walk into this A site.
Yeah, and AZ now here alone. He gets mollied out. That molly might actually finish him as it's starting to spread. He's able to get away. Wrapping back towards the green train, and Destiny's seen him. Valdet, does he have the bomb?
Or is that, no, that's got to be a main.
Yeah, surely.
It's below him.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, that would have been terrifying.
He still could get the bomb, in all fairness. They've retrieved it, they're running back, now he can't get it, and KNG's holding the angle. This round should be all said and done. Valdet, patient as ever. Bomb now getting planted, and it is a pop dog plant here. You don't actually have a player there for INTZ, but it shouldn't matter, right? A 1v5 for Valdet. It doesn't even look like he's going to give this one a look in. So Hugo, as you say, is this a 16-0? Immediately, the following round, INTZ put one up.
I always like to jinx it, Harry. Make it interesting. You know, give them some rounds. Kenji's going to walk into this, and he will hit the shot. So finally, a flawless 5-man surviving T-side round for INTZ like we all expected at 11-0. And maybe that can give them some resurgence to come alive here moving forward. They don't look as pumped as you would hope, though. Not that I blame them, but yeah, North are back in with a double AWP anyway. They have so much money. They barely lost any players in these rounds that they've won. So 2 AWPs, and KNG's got his work cut out for him. Going to go quickly towards the B side of things. Might go for a pop drop. He had to spawn for it, but no, looking to go for the B pick. At the same time, Valdi's got a similar idea. The flash is there, and it favors the T side. Cello saving KNG's life. He was blinded, but luckily enough, getting out with 30 points of health. North have taken the pop dog in the meantime, but there's no shenanigans going on here. Yell's watching for the climb. It's punished them one too many times before. Oh no, are you serious? He looks away and Gade gets up the ladder? Oh dear. What a way to crumble.
Oh, Gade is a monstrous human being. I mean, 3 kills, he catches the picture-perfect timing, and he's throwing this round in the bin for INTZ. They try and head into CT spawn, but AZ's already there, and everywhere they look, it is just death. It is just destruction lurking around every damn corner, and when it's not that, it's Gade, ready to drive a knife in your back. The round goes the way of North. They're in with another straight back, not allowing INTZ to chain multiple together. Big stuff from Gade. The fact that he gets the third as well. Like, he's just done that. And then he's like, I can tell. I can tell there's a third guy around here somewhere.
He's 19-3, Harry. That's just not fair. That's just not, it's just not allowed. Unbelievable stuff. Even Valdi throwing that smoke in towards the boxes as well. We've been seeing that from time and time again from North. Just trying to keep INTZ out of gaining any map control for free. They've done a great job of that. I mean, Gade, yeah, he's just behind enemy lines every single round. So, nice nade. Softens up these targets. I would say it makes the M4s just that little bit better, but there is only one. That being said, any damage will be taken. Zan getting boosted up. Kiebi not giving him the kill. Gade, again, getting aggressive. He's dropped the bomb. He's killed Destiny up in main. This is not the way that INTZ wanted the round to start, but Yell, he's found himself in a very prominent position. Yugi's not watching it. He's got a nade out in hand. Kiebi gets a very, very big kill. Flashes back in by Yugi. Does spot a second player, but Yugi gets caught. Yell was pushed up down Olaf, and now Kiebi, he's kind of sandwiched in between 2 players. He needs to move back. The molly will actually help him out, and Gabe will get another kill. Bomb still in main, picked up by KNG, but Gade, he's not going to let him pass.
Yeah, look at him go. He's hunting. He is like a bloodhound right now. He sniffed a man out in main, and finally they put him down. Gade getting snuffed out of this round. It's about time. KNG and Zand, all that remain. 2v3, still in with a chance, but only 30 seconds left to try and realize anything in this round. Try and make something of it. Smoke down towards Ivy. Blocks off a peek from back green. Allows a bit of control down towards Olof, but they have to deal with Valdet at the bomb train. He will get spotted. And now 15 seconds left. He's seen the bomb. Ooh. He's seen the AWP on KNG. He just hides. He plays for time. He waits for them to try and plant the bomb, and they're not able to do so. KNG just wants to hold on to the AWP, and he's not getting away with it here.
No.
Missed shots. And North 13-1. KNG, I think he went down just before the time expired. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he should still be getting money, but
those are the shots you hit if you're 13-1 up, and maybe even get the lineup towards those two players by stopper. But of course, at 13-1 down, he misses every single bullet. That's unfortunate. But you can't win them all, Harry, as INTZ are finding out the hard way. Third timeout coming through in the last round of the half, and North, I mean, it doesn't matter how this round goes. They don't care, Harry. It's 13-1. Doesn't get much better than this right now. INTZ are looking out of answers. They might not even have the breathing room to come up with any as well. North biting at their heels. I'm really glad you brought up Gade's multi-kill ability coming into this game, because it has just been highlighted in almost every single rifle round.
That's the thing, like, so Gade's decision-making and his, like, ability to position himself in, like, 1v2s, 1vx's was always so good. And from this game, it's looking like somehow it's gotten even better. Every decision he makes just seems like he has the perfect read on where the enemy are. Because it's like you'll watch him, and he's not even someone who's, like, doing, like, some crazy aim stuff like Kirby is, right? Where he's, like, flicking around. No, he's just one step ahead. That's Gade's way. And I mean, it works tremendously. Yugi opening this round up with a very fast kill onto Destiny. Gade's holding close, and this time they finally put a stop to him. AZ's come in to try and alleviate some of this pressure, but he will get shut down. Caught in the crossfire is AZ. Man advantage still up for North. The bomb yet to get into the bomb site, and they get cut down one by one. It's a 14-1 half for North. Incredibly dominant from the Danes. Will they continue to destroy INTZ? Or will we see another comeback from the Brazilian boys of INTZ? Find out. Do not go anywhere, because we'll be back with this second half after a quick break. Well, you might be able to hear the roar, and that's because INTZ have been thrown into the Lion's Den. They're 1-14 down here on trade. They've got a lot of rounds to get back under their belts if they want to make this comeback happen. And they need to do it damn near flawlessly if they want to avoid overtime here in this game. It's not looking incredibly likely. I don't want to hype that up as a big potential.
The word overtime is not the word I'm thinking
North
right now.
should be taking this one, and it should be a kind of really positive sign, at least for this roster and things to come at the rest of the major. I'm very glad we're not seeing them get off to a shaky start. There was no doubt in my mind that this should have been a very one-sided game. And it's good that we saw that, right? Like, a lot of the potentials that we speak about account for North's like randomness, but there's no randomness today. Gage shutting up that first man. Valda actually will get shut down. Yell getting 2 of his own. So this round's kind of grinded back to a halt. And AZ, there we go, finally. Last bullet gets rid of Cello.
It's the back of the head hitbox, Harry. It's just, it's a nightmare, honestly. He's not going to expect a close player, but Kiebi certainly does, and he does deal with him. KNG getting the trade, but Kiebi's on top of things right now. 2 kills, leaving just Sand. No kit down, no armor either. He's on a CZ. But this could be to his benefit, spraying away. Kiebi's going to hit the shot, and that aim punch coming back to bite him. You can see Valda getting hyped as well. 3 kills for Kiebi in that pistol, and that's 15 locked in, Harry. That's 1 away from the victory here for North. Certainly looking attainable.
God, we've been speaking about like making statements today.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a more grandiose statement than just 16-1ing your opposition on the opening day of the major, but North might have done exactly that. So from failing to get out the minors back in Katowice to now coming full circle and looking very, very good on the early stages, at least, of the challenges here for the major. Obviously, looking like a B play here from North with a very heavy presence towards this side of the map early in a very preemptive rotation from INTZ. They're staring down the barrel of defeat. It's match point for North. So at this point, they just decide to go with their gut. They stack the B bomb site. 4 players here. The best chance INTZ have to try and keep this dream alive. And they are getting kills. They are finding damage. They've managed to take the man advantage. And it's only Kiebi left standing up on the rafters. They whittle him down. And INTZ, they will lock in a second round at the very least.
Yeah, coming down to that full B stack, right? They kind of assumed it. North hadn't burst A immediately, so surely they're just going to walk into that B side to close out the game. Doesn't happen, but plenty more opportunities for North to do so. I'm not even going to count this as a comeback until INTZ start to find quite a few rounds on the CT side. But this might be their third, because North are actually giving them a good bit of room here. Just Eagles, 1 bit of armor on Valde, not over-investing, wanting to save some cash for the future. Knowing that likely they aren't going to win this round anyway, so let's not over-buy into it. Rather focus on getting guns sooner rather than later. There's a gun being given to them down on Ivy. Destiny, oh dear, he's getting tagged through that smoke. KNG does pick up a kill on T-Con in the meantime, and they actually spot Valde leaving as well, but damage is just getting traded, and Kiebi's eventually going to finish off Destiny through that smoke. So there's a pick. There's something for North, but now they've just got to walk into the A site. That's where things get a whole lot more difficult. Yell scoped in on them with the scout. And with armor not on this on these T-side players, that scout is going to be a one-shot ability on a few of these Ts.
Oh. Yeah, you don't want to keep walking into that if you're North, but they don't really have a choice, so they swing wide. And now KNG revealing his position here. That's the mow down for him as he gets for a third round for INTZ. Presents itself here, and they'll lock it in nice and quickly. 4 players staying alive. So money built up for this CT side.
Quick mainstream update for those wondering as well. G2 picked up the win 16-10 against TYLOO over on Overpass. So that's G2 1-0 up. TYLOO go down to face the likes of NRG and Vitality. Who will be joining them though? Will it be INTZ? We'll have to find out. Won't be in this round. It's P250s back to that Ivy play, but it goes both ways. Destiny's aggressive. He's just dead before he even sees a player. Nade is going to be fantastic, but 2 kills, not like this. Come on, INTZ. I may have jinxed them earlier, or jinxed North earlier. Now I've jinxed them back. It's a 4-on-3. These pistols are all over the bomb site. Cello not spotting Kiebi going above. If he did, that would have been the bomb dropped. He might still find him, but he's making a lot of noise. Now Kiebi knows, and he's been spotted as well in the sandwich. Still 2 players up on Ivy, but Kiebi's being hunted down. They want to get that bomb in the open, out of the terrorists' hands, and they will do so. North getting cleaned up now. Nice kill from AZ. Sam doesn't expect him, but, I mean, this is where you surely count him out.
Yeah, this unarmored MP9, definitely not ideal. 4-15, now we finally have a buy on the cards for North. They will be able to get that in the round coming. They're going to have an AWP as well, should they choose. And I imagine they will, considering the impact that Yugi was having with that over in the first half. We're finally starting to see like a bit of a resurgence from INTZ, but it's just, it feels like maybe it's too little too late at this point in time.
Yeah.
Right? That's the one thing in the back of my mind is if this was, you know, like a 10-4 scoreline and INTZ are now just finding their footing, I think that's very doable. I think that's very, very possible. The fact that it's 15-4, you've left yourself with no room for error. All it takes is someone like Gade, someone like Valdez, someone like Kiebi to step up massively in one round, and then you are done. That said, KNG securing the man advantage and also finding Gade. That's quite the scalp to take from this North squad.
Oh, AZ. Oh, it's going to be close. He sees a shadow. He knows there's a player right there, and he's going to get the drop on him. That's a big kill. B is open for the taking. KNG, nice rotation. Does catch that frag, but the smoke is still down in the connector. He's got to go through it and commit to being in B. That's not where this play is ending up. North are throwing smokes over the A site right now, and they will be coming back in through T main as they rotate to call for INTZ. Deep smoke to allow them to push further, not worry about the pop dog either. KNG going back towards Ivy, and that's where Kiebi's coming through as well. Comes down to timing here, and it's perfect for KNG. 3rd kill of the round here. 45 seconds for North to get through, but through the smoke, Cello goes and into his own death. Bowdy gets a frag. Yell still holding on to this bomb site, does not want to give them the plant, and he won't let them get much further. Yugi 1 shot away from death, and Destiny will deal it. It's going to be another round for INTZ. Slowly but surely getting the grip, but as you say, Harry, I mean, up against 15, it's so hard to believe. That being said, our first game of the day was 15-6 and ended up in overtime.
That is very, very true. We've seen it once.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. Especially versus this North squad, you know, like a bit volatile at times.
Sure. Certainly haven't looked it today, but let's see. More pistols. That's the thing. If North aren't getting bomb plants, for every round that they buy, they're going to eco the round after. Or this would be the eco, right? Half buy, an investment where you don't have guns, like rifles rather. So more chance for INTZ. At the same time, you can win rounds like this pretty convincingly if you just steamroll. 1 or 2 kills can just make the round yours, get some guns. B play coming through, INTZ. 2 players here to stop it. Zand is inside of the site, but they're wrapping lane. Kenji's holding upper as well. That bomb can't cross, and they have crossed behind him. Kiebi getting the trade kill. Cello doesn't realize they're up close, and this is how these rounds can steamroll out of control. Gade's grabbed himself a rifle. That is not the man you want, armed to the teeth, and Valdi's cutting off players through the connector. There's a shot from Yell, but he's in a 1-on-2 to keep this game alive for INTZ. Pistol and rifle left on the side of North, and he has no idea where these players have ended up. He spots ahead, but can't land the shot. Gade going back up, just playing with his food right now. And Yell, he's got to close his distance eventually. Yugi's still on the site. The flash is bad. It actually gets Gade in the open, and Yell still has a chance to win this round. Yugi's in the center of the site, and he's going to try and smoke it. Misses, though. That time is low. Tap on the bomb, and the quick shot not connecting. He's got to tap it again, and miss shots. That's going to be the map. That's going to be the game. North, 16-5. Very messy in the end there, but they do finally close it out with pistols. As said, not the hardest thing to see in the world, and that's going to be a hard game to play if you're INTZ.
Yeah, and especially having it end in such a fashion after you finally start to look a bit more confident, you start to figure things out, and then it all falls apart to a partial investment B play. Great stuff from North, though, right? There's no denying that. This makes me very excited now to keep watching this team at this event and see just how far they go. Because for the first time, it feels like we're not having to put like an asterisk by them, you know, like just for some reason, whether that's recently going through huge structural changes, changing roster, or just like being on a downturn, which for the longest time, you know, it was always like, North won't do that great. And whenever they did, it felt like a bit surprising more than anything else. Whereas here, it's like we're actually seeing some consistency. The game plan's looking great. And they really didn't look challenged at any point in that map, apart from maybe like a little bit towards the like that second half. But even then, it was like a partial buy to win it at a 16-5 scoreline, right? Like how much of a trouble were you really having if that's the scoreline and that's how you won it? So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what this North squad can do. Especially after seeing how they lit the server up just then in that match. In addition, I know we've kind of run this point into the ground, but with the Vitality and NRG in the bottom, that also puts Dream Eaters and Simon in the top, right? So that's like a matchup that North could, in theory, get, right? And you know, obviously they are in the top because they won their games. Dream Eaters and Simon definitely earned the spot there. They are still underdogs coming into a matchup against North, right? I don't think anyone can doubt that. So, you know, North in a very good spot right now, as are G2, up 1-0 with some teams that maybe aren't, you know, expected to make as bigger runs in this tournament. And yeah, good chance for North to continue on their hot streak. Right now, we've had some pretty convincing games with the exception of that opener. And we have plenty more games for us later on, Harry. Yeah. Continuing what you said, I mean, I always feel like upsets become like harder to do the longer the process is taken.
The
like,
later into
if
the
you, it's like if you're able to just 3-0 it, you know, you just win 3 best-of-3s as your upset. That's brilliant, dude. Like, but it's like I feel like as you get into like the later stages where the teams have been playing for ages, the fires are lit beneath them. If you were kind of coming into it as like an upset team, that's where you start to struggle. You know? Element of surprise as well is a huge factor in that, right? Like Vitality, I'm guessing here, but I'd imagine they didn't do a huge amount of research on Simon. I'm just assuming that because they are the top team and versus the bottom team. To kind of, you know, look at that in another perspective is it's like you can prepare so much for the match on day one, but the amount that you can prepare starts to decrease each day of the tournament, right? Like, and on top of that, the teams that you're playing against, they like, you know, they warm up a lot more. It doesn't become as reliant on doing an insane amount of preparation so much to just playing your own game. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to develop with a few of these CIS teams now up in that 1-0 spot, because I feel like whichever one of them gets off to the better start, if one of them can go 2-0, that they're the ones I'm looking at that point to be like, right, they're doing it. They're making this run happen. You've done 2/3 of your job already, right? And you've already beaten good teams to do it. So fair enough. I mean, North are going to run through with a quick victory over INTZ, looking like the roster is back in form, but we have some rosters under question coming up next. Mouse Sports taking on 4, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.